Bagi pihak Kapten Nasran Ahmad dan anak-anak kapal, kami mengucapkan terima kasih kerana
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lisa, and on this channel I talk about my life in Brisbane as well as my travels. This is a travel video. I hope you enjoyed the clips that I shared of my flight from Kuching to Miri on Firefly Airlines. Firefly Airlines is a subsidiary of Malaysia Airlines. It's meant to be their low-cost airline, and it's one of two airlines that fly between Kuching and Miri. So there's not a lot of options there. It's a 1-hour flight. I had booked this flight on the Malaysia Airlines app, and I may have thought it was a Malaysia Airlines flight. Didn't realize that I was booking a subsidiary's flight, and I thought, oh, it's okay, because if I'm able to book on the Malaysia Airlines app, then the experience for the rest of the booking will be similar to Malaysia Airlines. But I found out that because I had booked a Firefly ticket on Malaysia Airlines app, I couldn't do online check-in. So that was annoying. I got to the Kuching airport quite early because my brother had an AirAsia flight to Miri leaving at around 1 p.m. So I got there way too early. The check-in desk wasn't even open. It was their only flight flying out of Kuching, so there was no staff around from Firefly. So I had to amuse myself in the departure area, not being able to go inside the departures where the gates were. So finally I was able to check in and drop off my luggage. I believe the check-in counter opened maybe an hour before the flight was meant to leave, and I was assigned a seat 20 something, which, you know, wouldn't have been my first choice, but at least I got a window seat because I love to take video of the scenery, the clouds, etc. So I was happy about that, and got through to the gate area. At the time I flew, which was in October, the Kuching domestic terminal, there were some shops which were closed and they were boarded up. So it's not like they were closed because it was Sunday, they were properly closed. And some of the shops had moved around, so I was having a look around and I ended up having a bit of time, so I walked up and down the gate area and there really wasn't too much to see. I did get myself a meal of chicken rice. I wasn't sure what was going to be provided on the flight. It was only an hour. And the boarding process, we had to line up with our boarding passes. They gave me a printed boarding pass when I checked in. I got to my seat and it was a pretty smooth flight. There was no entertainment on this flight. I think that might be a feature of low-cost carriers in general. They did have an in-flight magazine, but I believe it was Malaysia Airlines magazine. To my surprise, they did have food service. They gave a tray of a couple of items. I think there was a sandwich, peanuts, and maybe a bottle of water. So that was a nice surprise, but the sandwich itself was a bit dry. And the flight itself was pretty smooth, and an hour later we had landed in Miri. So overall it was a pretty smooth flight. I wasn't happy with the process in Kuching, like not being able to check in online and then having no other counter open. Like the whole section for Firefly was closed, so there was no one to assist me, so I wasn't that impressed with that part of it. So next time I fly, if I ever fly Firefly again, I would book on their own app. They do have an app. Their color is kind of like an orange white theme, and that carries across to the app's colors. The flight cost me about 230 ringgit one way from Kuching to Miri, and I don't know if that was a cheap price, an expensive price, but I tend to choose more the higher fares because of any issues. I prefer to have a more flexible ticket, so it probably wouldn't have been a cheap fare, but it would have been cheaper compared to AirAsia, because AirAsia can appear cheap when in the initial search, but then once I add on all the things I want, such as 20 kg luggage or more, seat selection, a meal, it does add up pretty quickly. So I would give that experience on Firefly, from booking to arriving in Miri, maybe an 8 out of 10. It was pretty good, pretty smooth. Just wasn't too happy with the experience at Kuching Airport. If you made it this far, please consider subscribing. I love to have you here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!